The hashtag one fruit you should eat before sleep for healthy eyes. There's a strange little fact most people have never heard. Your eyes actually repair themselves the most while you are asleep, almost like tiny mechanics clocking in for the night shift. And what is even stranger is that one simple fruit can make that repair process stronger, smoother, and noticeably faster. It is the kind of thing you hear once and wonder, wait, why did nobody tell me this earlier? Today's video dives into that fruit, the one that eye specialists quietly recommend and nutritionists casually mention, but the internet rarely explains in a way real people can actually use. So if waking up with clearer, more rested eyes sounds even slightly tempting, stay locked in, because tonight might be the first night you actually help your eyes instead of just closing them. Blueberries. Blueberries sometimes feel like that humble friend who never shows off, but always ends up outshining everyone at the end of the day, and when it comes to eye health, they are quietly unbeatable. What makes them stand out is how they support the tiny blood vessels inside the eyes while you sleep, especially after long hours staring at screens or fighting off dryness that hits late at night. Some people hear blueberries and think it is just another trendy healthy food, but the real story is that their antioxidants resonate with the nighttime repair cycle, helping the eyes flush out stress from the day instead of letting it pile up. Even though the internet loves to exaggerate everything, this fruit does not need exaggeration. The difference often shows in the way mornings feel less cloudy and the eyes feel less tired. How blueberries calm the eyes before sleep. Eating blueberries at night sometimes feels like switching your eyes into a lower gear after a day spent in overdrive, especially if screens have been your unofficial coworkers since morning. The compounds inside them settle into your system during the first few sleep cycles, where the eyes are naturally restoring moisture levels, clearing out stress proteins, and resetting sensitivity to light. That might sound scientific, but the effect is something people notice in everyday moments, like when bright morning light does not feel as harsh, or when your eyes open without that heavy, gritty sensation. The interesting part is that blueberries do not overstimulate your system the way sugary fruits do before bed, so instead of keeping the body awake, they quietly blend into the nighttime rhythm. Why late-night screen users benefit the most. Anyone who uses their phone late at night knows the feeling. Time disappears, the eyes start burning, but the mind keeps scrolling anyway. Blueberries slip into this problem almost like a cheat code, because they support how well the eyes bounce back even after you push them a bit too far before sleep. The stress that builds up in the retina and the surrounding tissues does not just vanish overnight unless the body has the right nutrients. And this is exactly where this fruit steps in. People who sleep with sore eyes often assume it is just normal, but it is usually just the result of the eyes not having enough nutritional support to recover. Blueberries help reduce that leftover tension so mornings feel less like a punishment for staying up too long. And while nothing excuses bad sleep habits, it is nice to have at least one simple thing that makes the aftermath easier on the eyes. The story behind the blueberry night routine trend. There is a small trend growing quietly online where people share clips of their nighttime blueberry bowls, and while it looks like another aesthetic routine, there is a real reason behind it. Many notice that eating blueberries consistently helped them deal with nighttime dryness or that weird cloudy feeling after removing contact lenses. What makes this interesting is how the routine evolved on its own, not because some influencer shouted about it, but because people genuinely felt a change and wanted to share it. The more stories that come out, the more it becomes clear that blueberries are not a fad. They are a small, steady habit that naturally fits into how the eyes recharge. And it is not about perfection. Even people who forget some nights still feel the difference over time, which says more about effectiveness than any polished advertisement ever could. Why blueberries before bed work better than in the morning. Most foods are recommended in the morning, but blueberries flip that logic because their strengths match the eye repair window that happens at night. When eaten before bed, their anthocyanins stay active through the early hours of sleep when your eyes are going through the deep restoration phase. In the morning, that process is already done, so you are essentially feeding a job that already ended. At night, however, the nutrients have a real task and a real role, which is why so many people notice the difference when they switch the timing. It is almost like giving the eyes a toolbox right before the repair crew clocks in. Even though the morning ritual sounds more healthy on paper, the nighttime window is where this fruit quietly performs best, especially for people who deal with screen fatigue. The one mistake most people make with blueberries. A lot of people try blueberries for eye health, but unknowingly ruin the effect by eating them alongside heavy, sugary desserts right before bed. When mixed with too much sugar or dairy, especially late at night, the digestive system works harder, which shifts the body away from the gentle nighttime rhythm that actually helps the eyes recover. Eating blueberries alone or with something simple, like a small spoon of yogurt or just plain, makes the nutrients more available during sleep. It is a tiny adjustment, but it changes everything because the goal is not just to eat blueberries, but to let them work while your body is calm. Once people try them on their own, without mixing them with complicated foods, the change feels more obvious in the mornings. A simple night routine that actually sticks. Many night routines look perfect online, but are impossible to maintain in real life, which is exactly why blueberries are different. They require almost no effort. There is no cutting, blending, prepping, or remembering a dozen steps. Just grab a handful, sit down, and let your day slow down for a moment. It fits into rushed schedules, lazy nights, and even those evenings when the brain feels done with everything. And because it is so easy, it becomes one of those rare habits that people keep without forcing themselves, and the eyes benefit from the consistency more than anything else. It is satisfying in a simple way, knowing that something so small can create a noticeable shift without demanding your entire lifestyle to change. The subtle morning difference you start noticing. Most people expect dramatic results overnight, but what actually happens is more subtle and more natural. The eyes start feeling less dry, the morning light stops feeling like a spotlight, and there is a certain clarity that was missing before. These small changes build up, and after a few weeks, you realize that your mornings feel smoother, calmer, and strangely easier. Blueberries do not create a dramatic wow moment, they create consistency, which is what eye health relies on. And in a world where every health trend promises miracles, it is refreshing to find something that simply does what it should without making a big scene. If this video gave you even one new idea to try tonight, tap like so the algorithm knows this kind of content actually helps. And if you want more simple, real strategies that genuinely improve your health without complicated routines, subscribe and stay connected, because the next videos go even deeper into habits that work in real life, not just in theory. Thanks for watching, and take care of those eyes tonight. They work harder than you think.